Hey guys, it's a wet and wild day today. Yep, it's wet and wild outside because it's pouring down rain. So if you hear the rain, just ignore it. I can't stop it. We're supposed to get like 2 to 3 inches today. But I'm also finally going to do a full face tutorial using all the Wet and Wild products that I got from my haul, plus a few that I already had on hand. So if you want to see how everything turns out, just keep watching. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. So before we get started, and before I get into asking you to subscribe and all that stuff, because I'm still going to go there, I have preached to the choir about EBATES and how much I love EBATES. I just want to share with you my check that I just got for the last quarter, and I have blocked out my address and all that stuff, but this is how much money I got for just simply doing my online shopping like I normally do at all the regular stores. So Sephora, Ulta, Amazon, sometimes Walmart, I'll do Target, JCPenney's, Kohl's, Nordstrom's, which includes Nordstrom Rack, by the way, and how it look. Thousands of different retailers online. I get my contacts from them. We've gotten some things for my husband's motorcycle. eBay's on there too. Groupon's on there. So there's just thousands of different retailers. I have a link down in the description box. If you want to sign up through me for it, you get a $10 bonus after you make your first $25 purchase through eBates. And I explain everything down there how it works. But it's free money. There's no contracts. It's just simply shopping like you normally would. So I thought I would share and show you real money that you can make using that. So I think I made a little over like $410 last year all alone. But this was my Christmas shopping check, so that one's a little higher than the other ones were. Okay, let's get on to the tutorial itself. Now, I do not have everything Wet and Wild. I have a lot of it. A lot of it's new, some of it's old. But I will go ahead and use everything I possibly can that is Wet and Wild. So I'm going to start off with the Wet and Wild Coverall Primer. I've had this for quite a while, and I think I've only used it one time. So I have gone ahead and moisturized my face and put all my serums on. So this is a cream primer, which I like because it's hydrating. And you know, my skin is dry, so we'll put that on all over. And I will need to go in and do my color correcting under my eyes, and I don't have any Wet n Wild products for that. So now that I'm primed, let me do my color correcting and I'll be back to do the foundation. Okay, I have my under eye color correcting on, so we are ready for the next step. And yes, if my eyelashes look a little long and blingy today, it's because I did put on some individual lashes. So this is my first time attempting to put them on myself, and I think they turned out pretty nice. We'll see how long they last, though. That's the idea, is to keep them on for a while so I don't have to hopefully do as much mascara or false eyelashes, anything like that. So if that's a tutorial I'd like to see, let me know so the next time I do it, I can film it for you. Okay, as far as the foundation goes, I picked up 2 shades since I wasn't sure which one was going to be the correct one. So this is the Photo Focus Foundation. I have Soft Beige and Nude Ivory. And let's shake these up just in case. Take a little peeksy here. Okay, so this is the Nude Ivory. I don't know, I may end up having to mix these two. And this is the Soft Beige. Yeah, the Nude Ivory is way too light. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Soft Beige color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1/2 of my face with my L'Oreal blender, and then the other half with my Artiste brush. So that way we can see if there's a difference on how this applies. And we'll take it from there. So this does have a little wand on it, which is kind of nice because you're not sticking your fingers in anything. This is kind of dark, but we can always make stuff work. Let's see how this goes. watched some other videos where people use this and they talked about it drying kind of fast. So that's why I'm only going to work with half of my face at a time. Well, definitely not a full coverage. Definitely not. But we'll see if we can build it up. Take a little bit down my neck. Of course, I wore white today. Means I'm going to end up with some on my shirt. Okay, so now here is the one side, one layer, and that's with the Beauty Blender. And let's go in with the artiste brush and see if there's a difference. Ooh, I definitely like the artiste brush better. It's doing a much better job of spreading it around and getting the full coverage. Better coverage, I should say. Still not full, but better coverage. Now, I am a full coverage type of person, so I don't know that I like this so far. Okay, so let me zoom you in actually. I think you'll see better. I want to zoom you in with just one layer of it, and then I'm going to go in and do a second layer, and we'll see how it layers up. Okay, again, here is the sponge side, and here's the artiste side. Not too thrilled, but let's just keep you zoomed in while I do this, and I'll go in with the second coat. I'm going to go ahead and just use the artiste brush for the rest, since I do like the way that that applies better. The one thing that's going to be hard to say is with this foundation, because I use that primer. Oh, I should have used my regular primer on one side of my face, because I can't tell if the primer's causing any issues or the foundation. Yeah, it dries really fast, so it's hard to get blended into your hairline too. So I would recommend that you work in small sections as you use this. But I don't feel like it's going on evenly. Tacky, feels very, very tacky too. So let's see how this does when it dries. So we'll move on. I do have their concealer, and I couldn't find a light enough color, so I think this is going to be a little dark, so I might end up going in with my Tarte Shape Tape just to lighten it up a little bit, but I'm going to try and primarily just use this. So this is just their Photo Focus Concealer, and give me a color here. This is light medium. This is what the applicator looks like. And let's see how that works. Oh yeah, that's dark. Definitely not going to lighten up my under eye area, but it's very thick. Thick and creamy. Let's see how this does on its own first. Okay, I gotta look up close in the mirror. Okay, just trying to crease on my eyelids a little bit. Let me set that. I don't have a loose powder from them, and I don't even know if they make a loose powder, so I'm gonna go in with my Cover FX powder. Let me It's a little much, but I'll wipe the excess off. Okay, let me take a little brush and just put some away. If there's any extra. Okay, so here's what the concealer looks like with the setting powder on top of that. Looks a little more dry than what I would normally have with my regular concealers, but we're not done yet, so let's keep going here. Now what I'm going to do, next I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder, and this is in the color Neutral Beige. So it is pressed powder like this. Now I have been using this for quite a while and I actually really like it. I just like to go in with the big old fluffy brush. Where is it? There it is. And just swirl that around in there and just lightly dust it on. Especially with this foundation, it just feels really tacky still. Especially right around in here. But I do recommend this powder. I've really been liking that a lot. And I like that it has a little bit of color to it. Okay, so there we are with the powder. We're at the next phase, and now let's move on to contouring. The only contour that I have is way too dark for me. This is their old MegaGlo contouring palette in Caramel Toffee. So you get like a banana shade with it, and then you get this dark color here, which as you can see would be way too dark for me. So I am going to go in with, let's just use my Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. Since this isn't a Wet n Wild product, I'm trying to use as little of other products as possible. Okay, done there. Blush. I have two colors, and I've had these again for a while too, and I love both of them. I have the Rose Champagne, I have Apricot in the middle. So I think what I'm going to do is use the Rose Champagne as my main blush color. I'm sorry, I still have you zoomed in. Let's zoom you back up and I'm done here. Okay, now I'm going to take the Apricot in the middle and just put that right on the apples of my cheeks and blend that into the other powder. Just gets a little bit of extra dimension. So there. Alright, highlighters. I did pick up their newest one, which is Crown of My Canopy, but man, that one's just way too dark for me. So I'm going to pass on this one today. And I'm going to go with an oldie but goodie. It's their Precious Petal ones. It's the same kind, but you can see it's been well worn because I've actually kind of rubbed most of the design off of that. I'm going to go in with my Luxie tapered highlighter brush and just do a little light dusting. Alright, we have the face done. Now let's move on to the eyes. I'm going to do my brows off camera because I don't have any Wet n Wild brow products, so I'll be right back. Alright, the brows are done, and I went ahead and tight-lined my waterline as well because I don't have a Wet n Wild liner for that. So we're going to go in and use the Naturel palette, and these are the colors. I have used this quite a few times, and I love how well it blends out. I love the colors in here. There's not anything in here that I would not suggest. They all are just wonderful, except for I have not used this grayish brown color right here, which is color number 9. They don't have names, they have numbers to them. So I also have a okay selection of Wet n Wild brushes. So I'll use those whenever possible, otherwise I'll use just my regular brushes. So I am going to start out with color number 1, which is this one right here. And I'm going to take that all over the lid and all the way up to the brow bone. Okay, and I really don't have a good brush to get into my crease that's a Wet n Wild one, so I'm going to be using my Luxie brushes for that. Did I get the right one out? Here we go. We will be using the 231, and I'm going to go into color number 3 here, which is this tannish one, and I'm going to right along in there. This is going to be my transition color. Oh, I feel like my stomach's going to start growling. Okay, now I'm going to go in a little tighter, and I'm going to pick up the next shade over, which is a shimmer. And I'm just going to pick up the slightest bit of that, take it a little bit more into the crease. Not all the way in, just about part way. And let's take a big old clean, hey, I do have, this is clean, and I'll use this as my blending brush. Their brushes are all synthetic and very soft. Okay. Now I'm going to clean off that 231 brush, and I'm going to go in to this beautiful, like burgundy-ish color here. That would be color number 7. Very lightly. And I'm going to take that on the outer V, but also onto my lid and into the crease a little bit. So I'm doing a little wiggle in there. There we go. So I'm just smoking it out a little bit like so. Alright, now I want to go in with a flat brush, so I am going to go in with this one by Wet n Wild, and they don't have numbers or anything on them, they're just their brushes. The one thing I like about them, on their handle, they have a little indentation, so it makes it easy to hold onto and get a good grip. You see that? Let's do it like that. There you go. So you can put your finger right in there and stop it from sliding around. Okay, so I'm going to go into the lid with this color number 2 right here. This one will have fallout, so be careful. And let me grab my mirror so I can get a little closer here. I don't want to go sparkle. None of these are really sparkles. Just have a hint of shimmer. And I want to work that towards that plummy color. And I'm going to end up blending them in together. Okay, so let's go back in with that one red color just ever so lightly and kind of lightly dust in so they kind of blend together. Kind of want an ombre effect, so I don't want to see where one starts and the other one stops. All right. Now I'm going to the lower lash line, and I'm going to need an angled brush for that. Again, I'm going to take that same red color and go right under my lash line. Then what I want to do is using that same brush, which I'm going to clean off because I don't want to pick up any more of the red, I'm going to go back into that lid color and lightly bring that underneath. And what that's going to do is give it a little bit of a highlight color. Tones the red down a little bit, blends everything in a little bit better. I don't know if you can see the difference now. Get a little bit of a highlight that way. Okay. Happy with that, so that's how that look turned out. And I do have their new mascara. This is their Wet n Wild Lash Renegade mascara, and this has a very unique little wand to it. It is a silicone wand, and then it's got the little ball at the end, which is great for grabbing those lower lashes. Oh, it does. I'm not going to get a fair idea of how this is going to work on my upper lashes, since I don't know why I decided to go ahead and put those on this morning, but we'll see how it does. I'm actually really excited about this little ball on the end, see how that does as far as grabbing those little teeny hairs. Let that dry. I'm going to come back with the second coat of that. Okay, so 2 coats of mascara on my lower lashes, and don't know that I'm a fan. I feel like my Better Than Sex waterproof mascara really gives a lot more length and volume to my eyelashes, so I very lightly put it on the top lashes just so the colors will match. So it did fine there. The little ball tip I didn't notice made any difference, but I just don't feel like it really went in there and grabbed all of my lashes, so I'm not a fan of that mascara, unfortunately. And I usually always wear a waterproof mascara on my lower lashes anyway, because otherwise it ends up smudging. So yeah, that one's a pass. For lips, I have a few different things. The first one I'll show you is their Mega Cushion Soft Matte Lip Cream. And this one comes with a little sponge applicator at the end with a hole in it, and I just didn't care for the color. They only had 3 colors that you could choose from, so that one I didn't like. I didn't like the way it felt on my lips, so that one was a pass. Now, if you can find their gel lip liners, grab as many colors as you can. These are awesome. I picked up 2 colors, and I have Pink Flamingo, which looks like so. And then also Bear to Comet. This is the one I'm going to be using today, which you can see I've already used quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips. But see how I can just go strictly with that if I wanted to. Oh, sorry. However, I do have, I thought I had a 3rd color somewhere. It's probably in my purse or something. I have their MegaLast liquid catsuits, and this is in Give Me Mocha, which I'll swatch for you. It's a beautiful brown color. Or kind of a bricky reddish brownish color there. And then this one is the one I'm going to use today, which is Rebel Rose. I think this has become everybody's favorite. So there's Rebel Rose down right below it. These are very creamy, long-lasting. I love the applicator on them too. I love the shape of it because it just curves right around your lip. Alright, the lipstick has had a chance to dry now, and as I will show you, it is not totally transfer proof. I mean, a little bit is coming off, but it does a great job of staying on all day. It doesn't get dry and cracky. It wears off fairly evenly. By the end of the evening, I will have, you know, a little bit of a line around the outside of my lips, but it lasted. I wore this actually again on Super Bowl, and that lasted me through eating all the snacks and the food that we had, and there was oily stuff, so it did a great job of holding up, and I didn't even need to touch it up at all during the day, so that was awesome. So let's recap what I think are good and what I would pass on. So let's start with the primer. I did like that. I do prefer the Amazing Concealer primer that I use. So sorry about that. But if you're on a budget, that's a great way to go. As for the foundation, not as full coverage. I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. I wish I would have probably picked up a different color because this is just a little bit dark for me. I don't think it does my skin the justice. I don't know. I don't think it's as good looking on my skin as it could be compared to other foundations that I have. So would I wear this all the time? No. Would I wear it again? Probably not, to be honest with you. The concealer, it did an okay job. It was nice and thick. Again, it was the wrong color shade for me, so I'll kind of blame it on that maybe. I don't feel like it did nearly as well as my Tarte Shape Tape is getting in and really covering those dark circles, because again, I did go in before and I did my under eye correcting. The blushes I love. Love, love, love the blushes. The highlighters I love. I kind of went a little heavy-handed today on them. And then as for the eyeshadow palette, oh my god, run and get this. This is awesome. So yes, this is definitely a plus. The mascara, not a fan of the mascara. Definitely the lip liners, get those, and the lipsticks as well. They are awesome. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That way you will be notified when I post new videos, so make sure you hit that little bell next to it so you'll be notified. And feel free to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If there are any types of videos that you would like for me to do. Hey, there's the garbage man. Yeah, anyway, if there's any types of videos you'd like to see me do, just let me know in a comment down below. I do love hearing from you guys. And until next time, bye-bye. Bye-bye, garbage man. Thank you.